And good morning to you all. Good morning to you all on a lovely morning. It's Thursday, right? Today's Thursday morning, and so much to go over. Nice to see the chat room lit up. We got the FSGA, formerly the FSTA. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely Thursday morning. We got the FSGA draft. That's underway. We have our mock draft that's underway. I'm looking to make a big pick in my next pick, so I'm hoping my pick is pickable. All right, and I got a big pick coming up. A big pick. Hope it's pickable. I got 3 more teams. I hope nobody takes my player. All right, and if they do, then that's it. I'm retiring forever and after. Anyway, nice to see Arnie in the chat room. I believe Arnie is on today. Right after me, we got Greg, we got Donkey the Okie, and then we got the Phil, and we got the Ray, and we got the Austin Healy, and Kevin, and Taco, and Timothy my hooker, Traveler, and a cast of thousands. So we thank you all. Okay, on deck is Arnie, officially. Okay, so let's, we're going to do the FSGA draft. It's not complete. They've gone through round 12 of a 13-team draft, and no, 14. And only the FSTA, GA, BA, whatever they want to call themselves, only them can do a 14-team draft. 14? Where do you get 14? Where they couldn't have 15? They couldn't have 15, which is what people play? Why have 14 teams? Holy mackerel. How many of you play in a 14-team league? King Hap is here. Good morning to King Hap. How many of you actually play in a 14-team league, okay? I'll put the link up for the draft as soon as I find it, okay? But, yeah, we'll get it. In the meantime, I'll go over everything, so just cool it, okay? Just cool it. I will go over, then I'll put up the link for the draft. And but first, we got some hot stove notes. That's right. With the with all the stuff going on with the managers and everything, do you think that right now that the Red Sox, the Mets, the Astros, you think they're going to raid other teams for coaches? And I don't know what happens there. Now, people are getting things confused. I've heard a lot of people say that stealing signals has been going on forever, and absolutely. I did it in high school. I did it in Little League. I did it forever, okay? So he, all right, I just got a message from somebody. But here's the thing. The home team has a big advantage. A big advantage when they have cameras that they can put in, and the visiting team, not likely the visiting team can do that. It's not likely the visiting team can do that. Okay? So that unlevels the playing field big time. Big time. All right. So that's why it's not fair. We've been stealing signals, that's part of the game. But when you put in equipment that is not likely to be put in by the visiting team, that takes the level playing field and makes it cockeyed. Okay, now, it's interesting that Beltran didn't share with the Yankees what Houston did in 2017. Right? How about that? Interesting that he didn't tell the Yankees, right? So look, the Mets are in a tough spot. They have a tough choice, but we'll see. Beltran lying to Joel Sherman. Joel Sherman indicating that he probably lied to the Mets, so we'll see. Anyway, the Braves, like Marcell Ozuna, it's believed that they have touched base with Castellanos too, but Ozuna seems more likely. They need middle of the order to replace Donaldson. Might get easier to go to free agency than to do a blockbuster deal for Arenado or Bryant, and I agree, much better for the Braves. They're losing, they're losing salary of Donaldson. They can pick it up with Marcell Ozuna. So there you go. Now there's speculation surrounding the Arizona Diamondbacks that rumblings about exploring the Chris Bryant trade. They could move Escobar to second. Bryant makes about 18.5 under control for this year and next. He just turned 28. He may be a better option. They're really thinking about Jackie Bradley Jr., who's got 1 year of control, and Starling Marte, who is 31. So Bryant's expected to make about 18. He could become a free agent after next season, and there you go. So that's what's going on. A lot of rumors about the Arizona Diamondbacks now, and talking about a Chris Bryant deal. So Arizona's got a nice stable of prospects, led by a lot of position players that are at least a couple of years away. They got a 19-year-old named Christian Robinson. They got a pitcher named Corbin Martin, who was a major piece in the Astros trade with Zach Greinke last July. Martin, who had some innings last year, he'd be a premier headliner in the Bryant deal. He was named the number, I believe, 78 prospect in the game by Baseball America last winter. He also just had Tommy John surgery in July. He'll miss a good portion of 2020. But the Cubs, looking to retool their team on the fly. The Diamondbacks don't have a ton to offer in the way of big league ready prospects, and that could be a major factor, okay? But look, that's what they'll do. They could shift Escobar back to second base, basically locks in Ketel Marte as the everyday center fielder, and there you go. So Bryant would be worth a 4.6 WAR this year compared to Jake Lamb's 1 WAR. Okay? So we'll see. Mike Hazen has shown a willingness to trade top prospects in the right deal. Zach Gallen, okay? So with a look, so we'll see what happens. The Diamondbacks do have a solid farm system with a bunch of pitchers in their upper half of their top 30. Also, Dalton Varsho, okay, so he's another guy who could be traded. So Arizona, among the teams, if things break their way, so the Diamondbacks have some room to make a serious noise this year, okay? They have the financial wherewithal to get a deal done for Bryant. This would require, as I said, Escobar to move. After letting A.J. Pollock walk and trading Goldschmidt, in addition to trading Zach Greinke, they have room to go, okay? And the Cubs, who haven't won a postseason game since 2017, they've let teams know that they're open for business, and the Cubs are willing to listen to offers on anyone, from Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, and Wilson Contreras, and Kyle Schwarber. So, look, that's the way it is. And with Donaldson not playing for the Braves, the only good thing for the Braves is that he signed with Minnesota. Minnesota not being a division rival. The Braves don't have a team that can win without Donaldson unless they make a bold move. All right? We don't think that they have what it takes. Good morning to George. Nice to see George in the chat room. Good morning to Traveler. Good morning to Unholy Toledo. And there you go. The Cubs could be the new Pirates. So that's great. Okay. So how about that? Yeah, so the Braves, they didn't want to spend big money on Donaldson. The Twins are going to pay him $92 million. The Braves can offer reasons why they didn't match that deal. He's only 34 years old, Donaldson. Played 155 games. That's the most he's played since 2016. The Braves didn't want to take a risk. So now the Braves are going to have to make a new move. Trading for Nolan Arenado and Chris Bryant is riskier than giving Donaldson a long-term deal. Donaldson can get a lot of cash. Arenado and Bryant would cost the Braves significant money, plus prospects. So we'll see how that works out. And basically, so Ozuna and Castellanos, of course, they're on the market. They'd be an upgrade for the Braves. And you can bet your sweet Bippy that the Braves are going to do something, okay? And don't forget, Donaldson drew 100 walks in 2019. That's the second time in his career he's done that. The last Twin to draw 100 walks was Harmon Killebrew, right? So, and then here we go. Compliments of George. Jared Eichhoff is going to participate in big league camp with the San Diego Padres, okay? And Eichhoff was a 15th round pick of the Rangers in 2011, I believe. Part of the package Phillies acquired when they sent Cole Hamels to the Rangers. So with the Padres, Eichhoff is going to provide depth, that's all. The competitions for Eichhoff to be anything will be very, very stiff. Mackenzie Gore, Luis Patino making their way towards San Diego. Dinelson Lamet, Garrett Richards expected to take their spot. Chris Paddock, Zach Davies, Joey Lucchesi. I mean, they are loaded. Loaded. Now, as far as Texas is concerned, they're in the mix. And Castellanos is the guy who they want. So the Braves would rather have Ozuna, and it looks like Texas would rather have Castellanos. So what about the Cardinals? Who are they going to come up with? And this is why the Arenado deal, as crazy as it sounds with St. Louis, crazy, St. Louis has what it takes to get Arenado. And even though we all really are not buying the hype about Arenado being traded, but with Castellanos going to Texas, and I think that's where he goes, Castellanos going to Texas, and Ozuna going to the Braves. Boy, that leaves, I don't know what that leaves for the Cardinals. So if Castellanos just put on a Ranger uniform, it's unclear where he's going to be in the order. He's been an outfielder with the Tigers and the Cubs over the past years. The Rangers would want to use Castellanos at first base. That's a position he hasn't played. So nevertheless, offensively, Castellanos would give the Rangers a significant upgrade over Ronald Guzman, who played the majority of games at first base. But we'll see. And, of course, the Rangers also looking at Nolan Arenado. So, look, we've gone through this time and time again, but the most important players for Texas have to be Elvis Andrus and Rugi Odor. And that's it. If Elvis Andrus doesn't come back to camp in better shape and committed, and if Rugi doesn't embrace the new plan that's been put into place for him by Chris Woodward, there will be consequences. And watch out for Nick Solak, Solak, Nick Solak, who could really become a replacement in the middle infield. So before you look at a potential lineup, I'll tell you what. Nomar Mazara now plays for the White Sox, and I'll tell you, Odor and Andrus have been put on notice. They are the important players. And, of course, Joey Gallo played in just 70 games, so let's see how that pans out, okay? So if Rugi and Elvis play up to their potential, the Rangers could field a pretty good lineup this year. Moving Gallo to right field, putting Danny Santana in center, adding Frazier, Chirinos, and Castellanos. Okay, the potential lineup could be Shin-Soo Choo batting first, Danny Santana second, Castellanos third, Gallo fourth, Frazier fifth, Willie Calhoun in left field sixth, Robinson Chirinos batting seventh, Rugi Odor batting eighth, and Elvis Andrus batting ninth. Not bad, okay? Not a bad thing at all. So there you go. And if you take a look at the Texas Rangers, over-under. Now, let me hear what you think about this. The over-under in Texas is 78.5 games. So do you think Texas will be over 500 or 500? That's from Caesars 2020 over-under 78.5 games. The Twins are 90 games. 90.5 actually. Okay? So this is what we potentially have. The Athletics are 89.5. The Cardinals, if they don't get a player, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble if they don't get a player. The Padres are 83 games, but the Cardinals from St. Louis are 88.5. Without getting that bat in the middle of the order, it's going to be a problem. So